If you can figure out how to do this in business, you're going to be better than 99% of roofers in the country. Yes, 99%. And I'm not a data collection agency, but the reason I say 99% is because if I ask myself this simple question, how many roofers in my area do good work? Well, what would your answer be to that question? Your answer would probably be not that many. And that's because it's not necessarily easy to do good work consistently if you own a roofing business. And we all know that. And in my opinion, this is my superpower in starting my business because I came from a roofing background. But I look around at other companies and I see they really struggle with this, and I know a lot of other roofers really struggle with this. But there's 5 things that you need to know or do to be able to build a business that not only does quality work in the beginning, but can scale to 5 times the size and still do quality work, because it's not easy to do. The more volume that comes in, the more hires you have to make, the more people in your business, the more people running around taking care of the roofing jobs, naturally, they're gonna get a little fucked up. Your quality's gonna go down, you're gonna stop getting referrals, you're gonna get negative reviews, and that's not what we want in our businesses. There's a lot of roofing companies out there that run their roofing business like a giant sales organization, like roofing is this major gold rush, and they're like all passionate about sales techniques and motivational videos and telling people they're going to get rich in the roofing industry and going out and knocking doors, but I never hear them talk about the actual roofing work. At the end of the day, we are roofing companies offering roofing services to homeowners that have roofs, to homeowners that need roofs, and there's roofs everywhere in the equation, so why aren't these big companies talking about the actual roofing work? Well, it's because they don't value it, and because they don't value it, I can almost guarantee that they don't give customers the quality jobs that they deserve. And I just don't view my business that way, probably because I used to be a roofer. So in this video, I'm gonna give you 5 things you need to do or know to build a scalable business that can hold on the quality for the entire run of your business. And at the end of this video, I'm gonna show a little clip of me back then and show you how much I actually cared about my roofers and the lengths I used to go to keep my roofers happy. The first one, knowledge. You need roofing knowledge. You as the founder, you as the owner, if you have no roofing knowledge, it's going to be extremely hard to pass something you don't have down to your team. Does it mean it's impossible? No. You're just going to need to really team up with someone that's an expert in roofing so that they can kind of handle that portion of the business. But you can't take it lightly, your inexperience with roofing. It's definitely a detriment, and you're going to need to have that key person that handles all the roofing stuff, that handles all the roofers, that handles the field, that handles the production. You're going to need that person. So just know that you need that person, and you need that person as soon as possible. Let's say you do have a lot of roofing knowledge like I did. You're an expert. You used to be a roofer. You know everything there is to know about roofing. That is your trade. Well, great, but that's not going to lend itself well to scaling a business that can keep up with quality. Because when you scale, you can't touch every job. And this is the position a lot of guys get stuck in. They say, well, everything goes great when I'm there. The jobs go smooth when I'm there. But the second I step away, everything goes to shit. This is a common place for people to be, and you don't want to be in this spot. So just because I had all the roofing knowledge when I started my business doesn't mean that my company is just going to automatically also have that knowledge. I have to pass it down. How did I pass it down? With the rest of the points I'm about to go over with you. And number 2 would be effort, and not just any effort. Obviously, it takes effort to grow a business, but I mean effort specifically towards the roofing work, and even more specifically towards the roofers. The roofers are the most important people in our businesses. You may disagree, but ask yourself another question. If your sales manager didn't show up to work tomorrow, would the business still run? Yes. If your bookkeeper didn't show up to work tomorrow, would the business still run? Yes. If you didn't show up to work tomorrow, would the business still run? Yes. But if your roofers don't show up and they decide to stay in bed, your business does nothing for that day. So because of that, we should treat the roofers with the respect that they deserve and put them first in a lot of cases. So there needs to be effort to do that, and you need to have a care for the roofers to be able to do that. If you have a business that doesn't really care or value the roofers, you're gonna treat the roofers like shit, because it's hard to treat the roofers good sometimes. You're gonna get a call at 7 o'clock at night because the roofers ran short on something on a job, and they just need one piece, maybe they need one piece of drip edge to finish the job. Well, are you gonna get in your truck and bring it to them at 7 o'clock at night, or are you just gonna be like, just drive back there tomorrow and, waste half your day in the morning finishing up a job? Even though I didn't send the right amount of material, I'm gonna fuck your day up tomorrow. Well, that's gonna piss a roofer off. Is he gonna leave you if that happens one time? No. But if you make a habit out of it and you show them you don't care about what they're doing and you leave them hanging constantly and you slow them up and it's unorganized, well, yes, they're going to get frustrated and eventually they'll leave you. There's good roofers in every market, and the good roofers work for the companies that treat them well and have work for them every single day. But it takes a lot of effort to treat the roofers good and have work ready for them every single day. And if you don't care about them, if you don't value the roofers, if you don't respect what they do, you're not going to treat them right, and they're not going to value working for you. It just, respect goes both ways. So just first and foremost, if you don't truly respect the roofers and try your best to make it a good place to work in your company, you're not going to have good roofers that work for you. You're going to have high turnover, and because of that, you're going to offer shitty quality roofs. Number 3 is hiring. In my opinion, there's a lot of positions in a roofing company that I don't need to hire someone with roofing experience to do, or roofing industry experience to do. A lot of the office positions, I feel this way. I feel this way about sales reps, but I don't feel this way about project managers and guys in the field. I think that they should have roofing experience for a couple different reasons. The first reason would be your project managers are your supervisors. They're the ones on the jobs. They're the ones spending the most time with the actual crews, with the roofers. You want your roofers to get along and respect your project managers. And I was a roofer myself. This is just how we are. It's that stubborn blue-collar ego. We don't really respect people that work in roofing companies that have never done any roofing a day in their life. There's something in us where we're just like, this fucking guy what is he even doing here? He doesn't know what he's talking about. Well, why is he even here? And you don't really want that animosity between the project managers and the roofers. They're supposed to be a team. They're supposed to work together. It should be comfortable. They should look at the project manager just as another guy on the team. The project manager should be able to walk around on the roof like he knows what he's talking about. He should be able to bullshit with the guys. It should be a friendly relationship. He should also know roofing because he's going to be the guy talking to the homeowners. So if you have, maybe you have crazy change orders that come up for woodwork, maybe you have an issue here, an issue there. If the project manager is well-versed in roofing knowledge, he's going to be able to clearly communicate that with the homeowner, show pictures, let him know what's going on, and all is well. If you have some idiot kid that's just out there to offer customer service, but he doesn't know anything about roofing, when shit hits the fan, he's going to offer no value to the homeowner. The homeowner's still going to have to call the office instead of the homeowner being put at ease face-to-face, right in person on the job. So between communication and dealing with the roofers, between customer service to the homeowners, and between just overall knowing what's going on and being able to supervise the job, help problem solve with the crew, and just be able to call out issues, in my opinion, you only want project managers that have roofing experience. If you have all project managers that have roofing experience and truly care about doing good work and care about treating the customers right and have a good relationship with the roofers, well, then that project manager is an important piece of your business, and he's going to make sure that quality roofs are getting done every day. And as you grow, you realize that, all right, these 3 project managers do a really good job at managing quality, at taking care of customers, at making sure everything runs smooth. I just need to find guys just like this and to train them to do exactly what these guys are doing. And it doesn't matter how many crews I have working every day. I could have 50 crews working every day. If I continue to hire and train project managers with this background, I'm okay. The jobs get done correctly, and we're all good. And notice, I had nothing to do with that equation. I don't even know at what jobs we're working at anymore. But my project managers do. My production manager in the office do. And because of their roofing expertise and because of the systems we have and because we treat the roofers right, they all do a good job because they care and they know how to do a good job. And I had nothing to do with it. So that's the 4th one. I mentioned systems. Systems in your business are super important for doing quality work. The first reason they're important. You need your company to be organized, and you have an organized company through systems. Everybody knows exactly what they're doing. There's automated reminders for things. There's systems for when change orders come up. There's systems for the way that the roofers communicate with the project manager, communicates with the production manager. There's systems for the way inspections get dealt with. There's systems for the way the job gets set up for in the morning. There's just systems. And if you have the same project manager and the same crew working together every single day, essentially doing the same thing every single day, it gets super consistent to where nobody even has to think about it. There's not much effort. There's not any confusion. There's not any disorganization. Everybody just does the same thing every day, so we give the same exact product every single day. And that's what systems do for you. In the back office side of things, and this is important for doing good quality work, the people in the office matter. because, like I mentioned earlier, the roofers are super important. We want to make it a good place for roofers to work. So they need to have all the material that they need to have. And that happens through systems. In my opinion, that doesn't happen through hiring people with experience in the office. It happens through office systems. Let's say you're the best person at ordering material that you've ever met. Okay, great. But how does Johnny in your office order material as well as you do? Well, it's a simple system. You put all the calculations that you have in your head that make you the best material orderer in the world, which is a silly thing to say, in the computer, and now Johnny can use the computer systems that you built that have your systems on how to order material, and just because Johnny wasn't the best material orderer, I can't even fucking say it, now he is, because he's using the system that you built that has your calculations and your brain in it. So that's a systems thing. And you want to get your material ordering dialed in, because roofers hate when you short on material. Roofers hate when you send the wrong material. It slows up the job. It frustrates roofers. And maybe they're more liable to rush at the end of the day because they didn't have everything they needed and you held their day up for 2 hours. So like just overall organization of the company is going to produce a good result for the roofers, and that's what we're trying to do. That's what all these items are trying to do. Make our roofers happy so they continue to do great work because everything is smooth. The last one, and this is a big one, and this is one people don't want to hear, is you're going to have to sacrifice profits a little bit, which nobody wants to hear that in business. Why would we sacrifice profits? And I don't like sacrificing profits. I talk a lot about profit, and this is very common in the roofing industry, and this is the #1 way to get roofers to hate you. We all pay piecework, right? We all pay it. But what do you do when maybe a sales rep or an estimator or yourself miss something on the job that typically requires more pay for the roofers? When they ask for more pay because the roof was steep, and typically you're supposed to pay for a steeper roof, but you missed it, do you tell them, well, I'm sorry, I don't have money in it for that on this one. Like, I'll get you on the next one. Or do you eat the cost of it and pay them because they deserve it? What about when they replace 25 sheets of plywood? Do you give them a hard time about it? Do you argue with them and tell them there was half sheets? Do you tell them you're going to pay them for 25 and only pay them for 12 when payday comes? Or do you pay them for the 25 sheets? Have you built systems in your business to properly track all the different woodwork that we're going to owe for at the end of the job? And then when payday comes, do you hand them a nice sheet showing them every individual job they did in that pay period with every little piece of the equation on that job that got you to $5,500 of labor? Meaning, okay, you shingled this many squares, you replaced this skylight, you replaced 15 sheets of plywood, you replaced 32 feet of fascia, you did this, you did that, you did this, add them all up, here's your number. A roofer would really like if you did that rather than just cut him a check and said, here you go, and you make him do the math on his own. What if you showed the roofer that you took his pay serious and you tracked what he did every single day to the penny and paid him that exact amount every single week? Well, you would be setting yourself apart from other companies, and they would know that you offer the best opportunity, and they would know that no other company would do all this work for them, and no other company cares about their money and the work they're doing more than you. And you're going to be able to retain the best roofers. Another way you may sacrifice profit is by buying your guys tools. A lot of roofing companies, we don't worry about that. The roofing crews buy their own tools. They drive their own trucks. We don't worry about that. That's not an expense we have to worry about. And I don't buy all my roofing crews tools. But if something breaks on a job, let the project manager go swipe the credit card to buy them a new tool. If there's a new tool that might help them get the job done better, which we're talking about quality here, there's new tools that come out all the time, and your roofers may be using old tools to do things. Well, buy them the $2,000 machine to crimp the panels on your mechanical seam metal roof. Buy them the machine and give it to them. They'll like it. It makes their job easier. It makes the product look better, and they'll be pumped over it. Don't make your guys go out and spend that money. It's benefiting you, but it'll also be good for the roofer's morale if you do that. The equipter. Not a lot of guys have an equipter. If you have an equipter and it makes your guy's day that much easier, and you spent $40,000 on this really cool machine just to keep your jobs cleaner and help the roofers out by saving their backs, well, they're going to like you for it. But not a lot of roofers want to spend $40,000 just on something that's going to make their roofers' lives easier because they don't respect the roofers. They don't really care. So like there's all these different ways where you can show your roofers that you respect them, you put them first, you know what they do is important. If you can pass that culture down of treating your roofers well, it's going to do a lot for keeping quality up, keeping culture up, and just the overall health and growth of your business in the future. Lately, I've been really adamant with my production manager about like, hey man, the roofers come first. Like I say that to him all the time because I'm trying to pass that mindset, exactly what I'm talking about in this video, down through my team. So like I say that all the time to him, the roofers come first. And what I mean by that is I'm trying to give him like an overarching theme, a core value to operate under so that when things come up, he doesn't have to come to me or he doesn't make the wrong decision. He knows like, okay, the roofers come first. What's an example? Say I have a sales guy that comes in the office. He goes up to my production manager and he goes, hey man, this customer's really bugging me about starting his roof. Like he really wants us to start the roof sooner. Can we move him up in the schedule? And if that's going to make the roofer's schedule a little fucked up or give them too much driving in between jobs or just slow them down or do anything bad to the roofer's schedule, then the answer is no. So yes, I put my roofers before my customers sometimes. Here's another example. Maybe we had a job get canceled tomorrow and we need to move somebody else in that spot. And we typically like to give someone more advance than 24 hours before we tear their roof off. But the roofers need to work a full week, so we're going to make the phone call. We're going to be nice about it. We're going to try to explain ourselves, and we're going to do everything we can to get the roofers to that house so that they keep working because the roofers come first. So if I can pass that way of thinking and pass that company culture that the roofers are important here, we got to take care of the roofers, down to all my team members. Well, now all my team members are making decisions just as I would have in year one when it was just me and the roofers, and like that was my main focus, was to take care of the roofers. So I try to build that culture in my company so that I don't have to oversee everything to make sure the roofers are getting taken care of. It's just the way we all operate. And that's how you scale a business and keep your quality up, is by taking care of your roofers. And on that point of the way I used to operate in year one, we're going to watch a short little video and I'm going to show you how much I used to care about keeping my roofers busy and making my roofers happy. So you're gonna hear from me back then and see what I used to do to make my roofers happy. So I talked about effort in my list on how to build a company that gives great quality and scales. And effort's super important, and effort is something that I know very well because all my efforts in the beginning of building my business were towards treating my roofers right so that we could do a good job. So I'm gonna play a clip of me early on in business just explaining the hell I used to put myself through to keep the guys moving. I'm sitting on my couch. It's like 9 o'clock on a Sunday night, and I'm pissed at myself because I couldn't get any office work done on this particular Sunday. And Sundays were usually like my biggest day to knock out office work. I try to get all caught up. I try to plan for the week because I didn't have roofers working on Sundays, so I used to get a lot of work done on Sundays. But I'm so mad at myself because I was so tired on this Sunday that I couldn't get anything done. And I'm complaining that, and this is how I used to be, and kind of in a lot of ways still am. If I have a lot of stuff to do in my business, but I'm just out of it, like I'm not having a good day, I won't let myself do anything else. So I'll just sit in my computer chair and do fucking nothing. But I won't let myself do anything else. I won't let myself enjoy time. I won't let myself do anything. I can't watch TV. I can't do nothing because I have all this shit to do. So I'm like bitching at myself because I just sat in my computer chair and basically did fucking nothing, looked at the wall all day, and I'm mad. But the reason I was so tired is because I had roofed 16 hours the day before on Saturday, all to get a job going for my guys for next week. So let's hear what I had to say about it.
Dude, and the whole reason, the reason I worked so hard yesterday, so I got like 119,000 on the books.
That was pretty big for me at the time. 120,000 in sales on the books. That was huge for me at the time. Now I'd be in trouble if that was the case.
But for a few different reasons, like I don't have many jobs ready for next week. We've had 2 new construction metal jobs we're supposed to be doing. They were supposed to be ready at the beginning of this week, and they're still not even ready for next week. Then I got a couple customers that don't want their jobs till a little later for different reasons, and I just sold one with the permits not going to be ready. Just it's not really ready for next week. So last week was really stressful as far as trying to get work together for next week, and I did it. The guys got a full week next week. But part of the
Just so you know, I was not making any money at this point in my business. I was not making a lot of money. But I said it like last week was very stressful. It wasn't stressful because I wasn't making any money in my business. It was stressful because I didn't know where my guys were going to work the next week. I didn't get stressed about money. It didn't bother me that my business wasn't making money. It bothered me if I couldn't keep my roofers working. So that was my biggest stressor, not money.
way I did that was, and really the reason I'm making this video, I had this woman call me about probably 2 months ago, and she asked me if I could help her dad finish his roof. I'm like, what do you mean? She's like, well, my dad, he's 70 years old. He tried to do his roof by himself, and I think he's like hit a point where he can't do anymore. So I'm like, oh boy. And like, dude, honestly, more out of curiosity than anything, I was like, yeah, I'll go over.
He was a cool ass old dude. He went by Old School. His real name's Barry. Shout out Barry.
There. Dude, so I went over there and it's a fucking mess, dude. He's got all of it torn off actually. But a lot of the paper's like all wrinkled and not tin tagged, and half of it's tarped, and he replaced all his fascia. It's a fucking mess. Everything's all crooked and shitty, and I'm, dude, like, nice old guy. He actually ended up being from Philly. So I spent like 20 minutes with him talking. Called him a badass for wanting to do his roof by himself at 70 years old. But like, as far as my business taking on that job, they don't have a lot of money. You know, and they couldn't afford to pay what it would cost for my company to come in and finish it for them. And then also, like, I don't even really want my business's name on that job. Like, it's kind of a fucking mess. You know, so, and at that time we were so busy, I didn't have time for it. So I actually referred him to an old friend I have who's still roofing. And I don't know, for whatever reason, I sent him over there and it didn't work out. But anyway, so like this week I'm scrambling for work. I sold one job, a metal roof, we're starting tomorrow. And then I got another repair, but I needed more than that. And I was actually doing an estimate near this guy's house, and I thought about it. I'm like, I wonder if he got a roof yet. So I drove on over there, and nothing. Still looked the same as it did 2 months.
So this is a roof I originally turned down because it's not a good job for my company to take on. This guy partially did half his roof. He had a permit open for like a year. It was all fucked up. They had no money to pay for it. So like, I was like, all right, well, I got a buddy that might do it on the side, but like, I can't help you. So this is 2 months prior. But later on, I'm struggling for work. I'm like, what the fuck am I going to do? Where are my guys going to work next week? I'm like in this survival mode. Like, what am I going to do? I got to figure this out. And then it hit me. Oh, that guy. I wonder if he got his roof done yet. Even though it's a terrible job for my company, it's not going to make me any money. I'm just seeking out work from my guys.
This guy hasn't had a roof for a year. So I call his daughter. I'm like, let me go back over there. Let me see if we can work something out. So I go over there and like, dude, they really don't have a lot of money. So I offered to spend a day there getting it ready for drying inspection, which is a lot of fucking work. That's what I did yesterday. I brought my little 14-year-old buddy to help me, because I had to keep my costs down to even like make it work. So I couldn't send my guys there for 2 days, one day to get ready and then one day to shingle it. So to save them money so we could make it happen so my guys could shingle it, I went there myself on a Saturday with my little buddy and worked 16 hours getting it ready for inspection so we can shingle it next week. And it's just like, I did all that so my guys could work one day. Like, I'm not even really going to make money. Like, maybe.
So not only the effort in trying to find the work and like just like brainstorm, what can I do? What can I do? What can I do? Like in crazy survival mode. I finally think about what I can do. I go out to this house, and not only am I like doing a job the company probably shouldn't take on, doing a job that's not going to make the company any money. I fucking killed myself to physically do the work myself for 16 hours on a Saturday. to give my guys 1 day of work. That's how much effort I used to put into taking care of my roofers. Like, that's where I started. And it's no coincidence, because I viewed my business that way and because I viewed the roofers that way, that I still have all those roofers with me and we still offer a great service because I fucking cared. That was the kind of effort I used to put into it. And I did get to bring my little buddy Bryce on that roof. I have videos of that. You should clip it in. But that's the kind of effort. And, like, is it reasonable for you to put that kind of effort in towards your roofers? Probably not. I was a fucking psycho. I just really cared that much, and I still do care that much. But today my life looks a lot different. I don't talk to the roofers as much as I used to. I don't go to jobs very often at all. But we still care. We still have the same roofers. We've built up project managers to do their jobs correctly. We have a good culture. Everybody wants to do the right thing. And that's why we still get 5-star reviews like every single week. And this is the type of business you want to build because, like, I don't have very much stress. I don't have customers that hate me. I'm not running away. I'm not ignoring phone calls. I'm not doing the typical contractor shit, which in my opinion, I wouldn't want to run a business that way. So you shouldn't either.